I, 24M. am worried that my sister, 26F, has feelings for my girlfriend, 24F. My girlfriend and I have been together for 2.5 years and we have a really great relationship. My sister and I have always been close, so I was really happy when she and girlfriend met and hit it off right away. They get along insanely well and it's awesome, or was awesome. It might be important to point out that they are both bisexual. Everything was normal up until about 3 months ago. They started hanging out together more often than usual, taking day trips and having sleepovers and going for dinner, etc. I didn't care about it initially. I thought it was cool that the two most important women in my life were such good friends. Then my sister, Amy, started making comments saying that if we ever broke up she's first in line to date my girlfriend, Emily. She calls Emily her wifey, and follows her around like a lost puppy. Amy says that Emily is our girlfriend and I swear she gets jealous when I interact with her. Then last week I got home from work and as I walked through the door I could hear them chatting in the living room. This isn't out of the ordinary. It was what I heard that really bothered me. My sister said, "Holy fuck. I have such a crush on you," in the most lustful voice I've ever heard. I really hated typing that. Emily laughed and their conversation moved on, but it really didn't sit well with me, so later on I asked Emily what they were talking about. I think context is important. She told me that they went shopping earlier in the day and were doing a little fashion show for each other. She said that those kinds of comments are normal between girlfriends and it's nothing to worry about. It made sense to me and I trust Emily. I decided to talk to Amy. I asked how their shopping spree went, etc. And then gently asked her what the crush comment was about. She got very defensive and accused me of being jealous of her relationship with Emily, then told me to grow the fuck up. I'm not worried about Emily doing anything behind my back to betray me and I never have. There's just something about the way my sister is acting that irks me and I don't know how to approach this without blowing up any of our relationships. Too long did not read. I think my sister is into my girlfriend and I don't know how to deal with the situation without ruining relationships. Okay. Well, be prepared because no matter what you are gonna hurt some feelings. There is no gentle way. She calls Emily her wifey and follows her around like a lost puppy. Amy says that Emily is our girlfriend and I swear she gets jealous when I interact with her. Talk to your girlfriend about it. Say your sister is jealous. Say your sister sees her as our girlfriend and that you are not okay with that. Talk about less hanging out with your sister. And do not back down. And see what happens. Basically tell her what you wrote in this post. To your sister. Say that you don't like it and be stern. Tell her to only come over if you are around. Wish you the best. This situation is crazy. If either one of them does not accept your boundaries, it is time to break up with one of them. Why am I having flashbacks to that one post on Am I the Asshole about a girl being absolutely mad her boyfriend and her twin brother were actually together all the time and used her as a shield? By the boyfriend dating her for years and not telling her. I have a bad feeling op. She said that those kinds of comments are normal between girlfriends and it's nothing to worry about. She's lying to herself. I'm bi and I only ever got those comments from women who were interested in me sexually, for serious. Furthermore, even if Emily views their friendship as healthy, your sister wants her and has made that position clear to you. Tell Emily what Amy has told you. Emily needs to set healthy boundaries with Amy. If Amy can't back off the flirting and romance, they need to back off the friendship as a whole. My sister said, "Holy fuck. I have such a crush on you." She said that those kinds of comments are normal between girlfriends and it's nothing to worry about. No, this is not normal talk between girlfriends. Maybe in a porn movie. This reminds me of the guy whose fiancée ended up cheating with his sister. Then they got married and they wanted him at the wedding. Sorry, dude. Of course your sister is going to be mad about this. She's the one with the crush that shouldn't be there. You, international_yam_80 has some great advice already, so, keep a spine op. Don't stress over the possibility of your sister stealing your GF. I'm sure Emily is far more mature there. Set boundaries. I have hugged my friends and even kissed them or flirted with them jokingly, but I would never tell them I have a crush on them or that I am next in line to date them. Your girlfriend can't seriously think this is normal. How do I address wanting to be included in conversation? I, 21F, have been dating my boyfriend, 23M, for 9 months now, and I absolutely love him and his friends. I think they're all really funny and I like hanging out with them. My only hang-up is that they are all Indian and often speak in Hindi and I'm American and only speak English. This doesn't bother me except in situations where I'm specifically invited or they ask me to join them and then no one really speaks to me or tells me what they're talking about, so I just sit there and laugh when everyone else laughs or nod along when I don't know what's being said. It feels very lonely and isolating. The most recent example is during a going-away activity for one of his friends. They wanted me to come and we did an escape room and I couldn't really help because everyone was shouting in Hindi, so I just did some things on my own to try and help, and then we met at a bar and I just looked around most of the time because no one was talking to me for the majority of it. My boyfriend has asked his roommates to try to speak in English more when I'm there, but they sort of reflexively talk in Hindi when in a big group of friends. I'm not sure how else to navigate it without sounding like I don't want them to speak Hindi at all. I'm working on learning Hindi for fun, but it's very slow going and I am nowhere near being able to understand it. This is so rude. Honestly. Your partner needs to either translate or make an effort to speak English around you. Having everyone speak a language you don't understand is so isolating. If your boyfriend is not making a strong attempt to help you understand what is going on, there is a problem. He should know and be doing things to help you know what is going on. Frankly, I find what they are doing is very rude and inconsiderate. This is such a common thing. I have Indian friends and they do the same thing. I don't think they even realize how disrespectful it is. I'm also of a different ethnic background, and my brother-in-laws are Canadian. Whenever they are around we speak only English. Because that's the right thing to do. If we accidentally speak our language, we quickly translate for them in English. I've actually gotten rid of my Indian friends because they would just speak in their language and I felt excluded. I think perhaps you can stop hanging out with his friends? You already brought it up, and he told his friends to speak English more. I don't understand why your boyfriend won't translate for you. Your partner should be translating for you. I would just stop going. Why invite me to something and not even make an attempt to interact with me? I could have a cozy night at home on my own instead. Why didn't Op come? Because you ignore her and have conversations she can't participate in all the time. If your boyfriend doesn't want to be a translator and the friends don't want to switch to another language, you can understand that they can also speak. They're sucky friends, hosts, partner. Not to be negative, but it kinda sounds like he and his friends don't care about you. Believe me, they don't forget that you don't know what's going. They just don't care. When I introduce a new person to a group of friends and they all speak English, I make sure the new person feels comfortable. I don't ditch them and leave them alone in the corner all night. I will have them stand by me and I will always try to include them in the conversation. It's terrible when you are around a group of people and they are all talking about things you weren't there for. So even if we speak the same language, I would always make sure the person doesn't feel left out. Maybe that's just me, but it sounds like he doesn't think about how you feel in situations. Sounds like a huge red flag to me. My mom asked me to stop calling her. I 28M live alone, in a different city to where I'm from and get lonely, you know. I usually call my mom and tell her what's up with my life, good and bad. I don't really like living here since I have no friends or a couple and I usually go to work and that's it. So I tell my mom basically what's on my mind, with that usually being that I'm lonely, sad, anxious and stuff. Yesterday she had enough and told me to stop calling her with all my problems and just go get a girlfriend or something. I'm baffled to say the least. She's the only parent I have left and now I can't even call her. Question. Do you ever ask her how her life is going, in detail, and actually listen and respond with helpful advice? Or are you just using your mom as an emotional dumping ground? I'm really sorry. In fairness to your mom, it gets exhausting listening to someone complain a lot. You probably need a therapist. Can you afford a therapist? I think your mom's being very cold based on what you wrote, but it's possible she felt like relying on her is keeping you from taking steps to actually solve your problems and make friends. Find a therapist. See if any of your coworkers or classmates want to go out after work. Start exercising and just doing things to get out of your apt. Get a dog or cat. See if you can join or groups or meetups, etc. I've always hated living on my own, but there are definitely things you can do to make it less lonely. So your mom didn't tell you not to call her ever. She told you to stop making her your dumping ground. It's exhausting to hear someone complain about the same things over and over. It's time to make friends. What does your day look like? Do you go to work and home and that's it? You won't make friends that way. Get a hobby that takes you out of your house. Join a softball league, go to the gym, take up hiking, join a book club, take a cooking class. Do something that puts you in contact with people. You will find your friends. It's not fair to make someone else your trauma dumping ground. I think at 28 years old it's time for you to start finding ways to be your own support and find ways to make your own happiness. She can't fix it, only you can. Boyfriend won't go down on me. Help. I'm not really sure what to do about this. My boyfriend 24M and I 22F have been dating for about a year now. He's only gone down on me once in the span of our relationship. At first, I could justify it and chalk it up to him being nervous or whatever, but a year in and he still won't do it. Our sex life is okay otherwise, we do it fairly often, and though I believe he enjoys it more, it's fun for me too. Sex ends when he finishes though, never when I do. I go down on him a lot, even if he doesn't smell, taste the greatest sometimes. He won't on me though. I know for certain I don't taste bad or smell. I shower and clean myself regularly and I've tasted myself out of curiosity. I asked him about why he won't do it and he told me he had a bad experience with a past partner because she smelled, tasted bad and it was traumatic for him. Is this a legitimate reason to cause this? I've never heard of anything like this. It had to have been over a year ago that it happened and he did go down on me once and said that experience was good. I just don't know what to do because I feel like my pleasure isn't as important as his is to him. I don't know how to address this or how to get what I need sexually. It just feels like an imbalance in our sex life and I don't know how to fix it or address it. It's just an issue that's been building up over time and now it's really bothering me. I'd never force him to do anything he doesn't want to, but I want to be able to help him work on this. Is there a way I can help him get over this fear? I don't know what to do. Just as a personal rule, I don't blow people who don't do down on me, and I don't concern myself with the pleasure of people who don't concern themselves with mine. Everything is a two-way street and no one owes anyone anything, but for me it's either a two-way street or a no-way street. There are no one-way streets. He sounds like a really selfish lover. It's not okay for him to be focused just on getting himself off. Don't make it about him not going down on you but about him not seeming to care about your enjoyment. If I got paid every time a woman posts her boyfriend doesn't go down on her, I wouldn't be rich but that would pay my coffee every week. So your boyfriend doesn't go down on you, doesn't care if you're enjoying sex as much as him, ends it when he finishes, he smells bad. There, done dune. He's an asshole. Why are you going down on him? You need to love yourself a little more and dump him. Or at least stop letting him use you. You're not his, or anyone's, sex toy and he's not the only one who deserves pleasure. You deserve better. First off, don't go down on someone who smells or tastes bad. Ew. Second off, if that's his reasoning for not going down on you, I suggest you tell him you're not going down on him anymore because he has smelled, tasted bad. Turnabout is fair play. But most importantly, don't stay with a selfish lover. If he doesn't care about your pleasure, he doesn't care about you. You deserve a lover that cares about you finishing. You can't fix selfish, you can only break up with it. A bad smell, taste was traumatic for him? How does that look like? Does he has nightmares and flashbacks about bad smelling vaginas? Having trauma about going down on someone, sure. But sex ending when he ends isn't excusable. Dude's got fingers, heaven forbid get some toys. You shouldn't be walking away from sex unsatisfied ever unless you choose to or external circumstances happen. He's selfish. There's no excuse for men like this anymore. Go find a more generous lover. And frankly, if he doesn't care about your pleasure, he probably disrespects you in countless other little ways. Time to put your foot down, stop going down on him, or frankly find someone better.